So today I wanted to show you how I organize my collection of Magic cards. Some people have asked about this before, and I've seen videos like this that other people have made, and I found them pretty interesting, so I thought it'd be cool to make one of my own. So starting off here, you can see I have a bunch of set binders. This is how I have most of my cards organized, and I really like this method of organization. They're in binders, each by set. Some of them have multiple sets in them. The newer ones, they can only fit one set per binder because sets are massive nowadays. Literally every set is huge outside of ones like Aftermath, which can fit in here. But if you go to older sets, like these, what do you know? You can fit 3 sets per binder. But anyway, I have them organized by set and then by collector number. And I really like this because if I want to find literally any card, I can get it in like 10 seconds. So say for example, I wanted to find, I don't know, like a Seance. I could just go down to the Dark Ascension binder here. Well, I could actually just go to this box of like 10,000 Seances and grab one of these, or maybe one of these, but I'll go for the binder instead. So Dark Ascension would be here. We'll grab the Dark Ascension binder, bring it over to the desk. So it would be white, blue, black, red, green, multicolored, colorless lands. So we start off with the white. This is Innistrad, so we'll go over to Dark Ascension, and organizing it by collector's number also organizes it alphabetically because that's how the cards are produced. So we're looking for S Seance right here. And one thing I should probably point out, because people are going to yell at me in the comments otherwise, but yes, I'm using 3-ring binders, and binder dings are a thing. What that means is the cards which are here next to the rings in the binders can get damaged by the rings pressing into them. So what I do is, if there's a card that's particularly good or valuable, I'll just shift it over one spot so that it's not next to the rings, like you can see with Emrakul right here. Normally it should be right here, but I've moved it over one. We'll put this back in here, and on this shelf I just have some bookends here to hold the binders up. There's one on each end and then one in the middle somewhere here. And organizing like this took a long time. That was kind of a massive undertaking, but it was worth it because I can find any card I want now. But also, this is kind of what launched my channel almost, because the video that I made that initially became popular, you might have seen it, was the progression of a new Magic the Gathering player. I made that video when I was sorting through all of my bulk cards because I wanted to sort them like this in binders, so I was putting them in sets and then by collector number. So on my basement floor there was this huge mess of cards, and I thought it was an interesting visual, so I used the opportunity to make that video. So that worked out pretty well. You can see here I don't have binders for every set. It starts off with the newest ones here. It goes back in time until, what is this one? Tempest Block. But then there are some older ones on this shelf over here. These ones are not as full because I don't have so many of these cards. That goes for all these binders. None of them are completely full. The only full sets that I have are, I think, Return to Ravnica and Avacyn Restored. But that's okay, though. So I have some more set binders here. There are a few other binders. This one is actually my trade binder that I do bring with me to places. There's just, you know, just stuff in here. There's lots of stuff like this. This is just an empty spare binder that I'll probably use for something. This binder is really cool, actually. So inside this binder is basically just, like, cool stuff. So I was initially putting some lands in here. I kind of changed that up, though. So if we get into this, we got some lands, but then go a little bit further on. Here's some interesting lands. We have some Unlimited, some Foil Wastes. There's a Beta Mountain there. This part is pretty sweet. I want to make a video on these specifically because I have cards that viewers have sent in and that I've gotten signed by various people here. So there's lots of signed cards, lots of cool custom things like this, lots of signed Hashep Oases. There's me on a card there. Then we keep going. There's lots of Secret Lair cards, things like this. I think this one's pretty sweet. This is all of the foil Godzilla cards here. I'm a pretty big fan of Godzilla, as you can see right here, and here, and here. So I did collect all of the foil Godzilla cards. Here are some of the Japanese foil Strixhaven cards. Not all of them, but there's some of them here. I'd started collecting them, but then realized that I probably wasn't going to finish it anyway. It was going to be too expensive. So here's the ones that I got, and then I stopped collecting after this. Some more Secret Lair stuff here and some promos and things like that. I got the Here We Dragon Secret Lair, so the cards are right there. Here's a 30th anniversary Secret Lair. It's not the Chromox though, because that's in the deck right now. Here's the rest of them. There's just some random cards in here. Some older ones. There's nothing on that page. And the next to the binders is where I have my commander decks. There's a few of them here. Where we got Gishath, Sig, Bilbo, Selvala, Garth, Ayula, Hezazon. That's not all of them. I have these I like these deck boxes because they're very minimalist. I used to use larger deck boxes, but I switched to these ones because they just became too bulky, and I like having minimalist ones now. Have some more commander decks in here though. So basically, if I'm going to take a commander deck out with me, I'll put it in one of these boxes, and then for the one that wasn't here, I'll just swap it into this box. So I have some more commander decks in here as well. This is just full of tokens. This is full of dice. Then you might have seen this box. This is my draft kit. I bring this with me to FNM. I use this as my deck box for my draft deck that I might make, but also in here we've just got some empty sleeves, some basic lands, probably like 17 of each, and then some dice in here. Up above these is something cool. There's a bunch of foil seances there and a couple oversized cards. And then down here we've got some sort of bulk type of stuff. There's some dice that I've accumulated over the years. Some stuff from Double Masters 2 there. Basically what I do is if I have more than 4 copies of a card, but I think the card will be good at some point, or maybe I could buy list it sometime, or anyway, for whatever reason, if I want more than 4 copies of it, I'll chuck it in this box here. And occasionally I'll just look through this and see, you know, if some of these cards have become desirable or not. And if they have, I'll take them out. If they haven't, I'll either put them back in here, or I'll see if they have become actual bulk, and then I'll put them in a bulk box. Over here by the seances that you saw, these are various sleeves, because I like to buy collections and do random buys and things like that sometimes, and a lot of the times the collections come with sleeved cards, so I usually do keep the sleeves and use them. So I'll save them and put them in here. Sometimes there isn't enough for like a full set of sleeves, but if there isn't, you know, and they're in decent condition, I'll keep them anyway, because I might find more of that sleeve in another collection that I get at some point, and that has happened before, so I can save some money on sleeves that way. And speaking of sleeves, I do have these sleeves up here from Dragon Shield that I've worked with making some videos from sometimes, so they sent me some of these products, which I think is pretty cool. Maybe I can use these as a giveaway sometime for viewers, but I do like Dragon Shield products, and I definitely recommend them. This one in particular is pretty cool. Over at another shelf here, there's more bulk, and over at another shelf here, there's more bulk, and even more bulk. I also have these boxes that are usually in a closet, but I took them out to show you. These are just some of the old school gift boxes from Return to Ravnica and Theros, but I have some stuff in here as well. This is basically just like kind of the same thing as with the one bulk box, where if I have more than 4 copies of a card and I think it's worth keeping, I'll put it in here. Most of these are rares. Or if I don't have a set binder yet made for a set, I'll put some of those cards in here as well. So like, watch this. This is, you know, red rares. Some commander cards, things like that. These are all rares sorted just by color. These aren't by set or anything, these are just by color. These are empty booster wrappers. I save these sometimes because they're good for mailing cards. I like to put cards in them, just, you know, a way to keep them all together when I'm mailing them. This box is the same kind of idea, except it's not rares. These are commons and uncommons, you know, things that could be good at some point, or maybe I just have more than 4 copies of it. I'll put them in here because I either don't have a binder for it or the binder is full already. This set is just a bunch of various full art basic lands from, you know, whatever sets. There's a foil one there, it looks like. There's a bunch of tokens here as well. Tokens. Then over here I've got some older cards for sets which I have yet to make binders from, because I just don't have enough cards from these sets to warrant putting together binders, because it would just be a whole bunch of empty pages. But like cards from Legends and more Legends and whatever that is. Over here, these are various fake cards and props and things that I've used in my videos before. So here's a fake booster pack I made for that Jump Shark set. I think it looks pretty cool. What else have we got in here? There's a Surge of Salvation. There's a Beat to Crap Moonsilver Spear. That's a really old one, I think. There's this Foil Veiling Oddity. Does anybody know which video I used this in? There's a hint, there's some water damage on it. No way, check it out! Oh, never mind.